Hey folks, Kimmy here with Kimmy's Heart Cafe. Excuse my mess. I've actually been working, plugging away at quite a few projects, and a little bit of a mess here. I'm gonna come to you with a quick journal share. Well, more than a journal. I've got a few journals here that I've had that I plan on. My goal is to open an Etsy store, but before I do that, I want to have a good amount of stuff that I can put in there. So I'm going to show you a few of the journals that I've made. Most of the journals I make, I love journals, and I bet you I have over 100 journals between the ones I buy or the ones I've made, and I'll make them, and people will, like friends or like moms at my daughter's dance school, they want them, or my nieces want them, or whatever the case may be. My granddaughter Kaya, who's 8 years old, is actually she's actually absconded with a handful of them herself, because she's been doing art with her Mimi since since she could hold a paintbrush. And so she has taken several of my journals, and she actually watercolors and paints and does all kinds of things with them. So, which I'm really, really grateful for. So I'm going to show you a couple of the journals I made, and would love to hear some feedback, and yeah. So anyway, here's the first journal I'm going to share. This journal measures 12 by 12. It is bound with hand-dyed seam binding. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 signatures in it. And this is a mixed media journal. It's covered with material. Between the material is poster board, so it's a soft cover. And I got this material years ago at IKEA and fell in love with it. It's got all these neat little things on there that can be painted, or whatever you want to do with them. I actually made a journal with some folders that I made on the inside with this, and I hand painted and stickled the entire cover of the material. It can be time consuming, but one of my favorite things about this is I love nesting dolls, and that's why I made it like this. So, and it's just got a simple little ribbon closure, and the inside is black on both sides. And there's a variety of paper. The paper, I think the inside papers measure 11 by 11, I believe. Yeah, 11 by 11, and the cover's 12 by 12. There's watercolor paper. There is like this handmade like loca paper. Let's see, most of this is watercolor paper. And there's black. This is Stonehenge, a cream Stonehenge. More watercolor paper. Most of this is watercolor paper, Stonehenge paper. This more that handmade paper. But one of the things that I have in here is this. Now this I still have a few pieces of this. I've been hoarding it. This was a Braille magazine. It's almost like on craft paper that I found at the thrift store a few years back. And can you see all that texture in there? I just thought that would make a really fun background. I mean, it's about the thickness of craft paper, and it's got texture on both sides, so that would create some nice nice background. But yeah, so this is one of the journals that I made. Each signature has 3 pieces of paper in it, so there's 21. Math is not my forte. Oh, and there's also like brown wrapping paper in here, off of a roll that you'd wrap packages in. So that's the first journal that I made. The next journal that I made, this is made out of a recycled box. It is, I think this one is 3 by 3. The cover measures 3.5 by 3.5, and I think the signatures are 3 by 3. And it has a nice big fat green ribbon. The reason I made this one, and this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 signatures bound on the outside with some twine. is for tea art, like for people who maybe do tea art to, you know, put their tea art, lay their tea art on here. I've seen that on like a lot of, there's some people on Instagram I follow who do tea art, and that's what gave me the idea for this, is like when you create these little pieces of tea art to have somewhere to put them on. And it's the same paper that I used in the first journal I showed you, minus the Braille paper. This has got the brown paper, and it has some Stonehenge paper and watercolor paper. So I made that journal, and if you can, I don't know if the material shows up. This is just little material, and the cover is, and the inside is canvas. It's sewn, and the inside is a recycled box. There's that one, and then this one is just a sketchbook. What this is it was like a little like bag. It has these sequins along here. It was a bag, and what I did is I went through with a seam ripper and I took the sides out. I ended up adding the applique after. It's gold, and on the inside I took, just to kind of give it some stability, some cardboard, and covered it with some vintage material. And there are 5 signatures in here of, this is Bristol board paper. So it's like sketch paper, but it can be used watercolor or mixed media or sketching. Oops, hit my keyboard there. Yeah, so I made that. Thought that was cute. And then there's this one. It's one of the, I made this journal. I bet you I made this journal like 6 years ago. Yeah, probably at least 6 years ago. It is bound. I put some beads on the binding. It is made completely out of cereal boxes, and it has a little butterfly closure, and I used black elastic to close it. And I got the Tim Holtz book corners, and I put a black embossed butterfly on the front, and the entire thing is made from cereal boxes. And each of the papers are decorated, so it's already, you know, you've already got color or you got background. I put some tabs on there. So some of them I stamped on or embossed on. There's tape, or I used glitter paint. I don't know if that'll show up because I kind of had to turn one of my lights off because it was glaring down on my desk. I've got pockets with tags, and everything with the exception of the tags, everything was made from recycled boxes. I'll just quick flip through so you can see the different pages. This one is a little piece of canvas cut into a heart that I stenciled, and I sewed on and stuck a little tag in there. I've done some stenciling. This is probably one of the very first books I made, and I've come a long way since then. This is still probably, this is put together extremely well, but I no longer, you know, make them like this, even though this is a very fun book. And here's another pocket that I made with a tag. This is made from cereal box. This one right here. Let's see, finish flipping through, and each page is kind of painted a different color, and it's covered with like a paper bag, and it's made, you know, it's got a little, some texture. I'm a texture girl. You'll see a lot of texture in my art as you get to know me and follow me. And here's the last journal I have to share today. This is, let's see, I don't even know what this measures. This measures 9 by just under 7 inches, 6 3/4 inches. It is tied. This is a piece of antique, like it's like a linen, piece of linen material, and I hand dyed it with some ink. The spine has the grunge board that I have stained and to cover the binding. and I put a nameplate, and I have the metal corners. And when you open it up, this is a piece of watercolor paper that I sewed around and then attached to here. And it has 3 signatures with several different, it has watercolor paper, some tags, and then some of the papers that I put in here are papers that this is molding paste that's been painted, that already has some artwork that I may have started or not. This is a piece of canvas paper. This piece here is a piece of canvas, linen, or a piece of linen, or a piece of canvas. This is a piece of linen that has been, I covered it with some, Venetian plaster and distressed it, and then it's been stained, and I left the back plain. I had nothing done with the back. And then this is red rosin paper. If you're not familiar with red rosin paper, let me tell you, this stuff's amazing. I got a roll of it, like 500 feet, at home or at Lowe's, probably 7 years ago. I don't think I spent $10 on it, and I still have some. Once this stuff is has gesso on it, it becomes a great surface to paint on, and it also is great for covering journals with. But yeah, this stuff is really nice to have. So, and then this is the center of the signature, and I ran some tape down just to cover the binding. This is the back of that piece of linen. And so it's just watercolor paper. And then here's another piece of artwork that I stuck in there. I just had it laying around. I don't know if I'll be able to flip this around. This may be upside down again, but so I included some of that in this journal. But yeah, it's just mostly watercolor paper, and I threw some tags in there. There is some Stonehenge in here, which I love working on. This is a canvas paper. Here's another little that I was working on a journal, and I was doing the artwork first, and then I was going to sew it all together, so I just thought I'd include that in there. It says Just Dance. And here is another piece of canvas that has been treated. This one looks like it has joint compound on it, and it gives it a really nice texture. And one of the things before doing this, you need to make sure that, depending on what you want to do with it, if you want to paint on it, that you go over that with some gesso and that matte medium on the back so that your paint doesn't seep through. This paper, because it's in one of the centers, I was worried about it ripping, so I went down it with a piece of washi tape. There again is the center of the signature. There's the other side of that piece of paper. And then here's the back of that Just Dance. And some doodles that I did. And then the spine in the center, you'll see, is covered with, I took it out of one of my Dilutions journals and cut it just to cover. And then here's a piece of paper that's already got some paint on it, just something fun. Then I included another signature with that. I don't know if it'll pick up the texture or not, with the joint compound. And they're really fun to paint on. And then another piece of canvas paper, the red rosin paper, center of the signature. And that is that journal, and it's covered with paper that I got from Tim Holtz. And then the nameplate has a piece of coffee dyed paper underneath there so that you can write your own name on it. And so yeah, that's what I have. Well, that's what I have next to me right now. So I hope you like those, and I'd like to hear your comments or thoughts on them. They are hopefully in the next, hoping in the next week or so that I will have my Etsy store open. It's something I've been working on and planning for about the last year. and I will share with you when I open that. When I open that, more than likely, the name of my YouTube channel is going to change because I want to kind of keep everything consistent. So when that happens, you guys will all be the first to know. Anyway, I hope you're having a great evening and you're enjoying your weekend. I don't know what part of the country you're in. I know my mom, I'm originally from New York. They just got like a foot of snow up there, and we've had some rain in the past. I live in the Charlotte area. It's been a little chilly here today. I haven't been able to get warm. I'm in like 3 layers of clothes and been sitting in front of the space heater all day. Been freezing. I just can't get warm. So but it was supposed to like almost 60 today, but it was so windy out. It just felt way chillier than it was. But anyway, we're supposed to have another nice day tomorrow. I just hope wherever you are, you're having a great day. Anyway, thank you for stopping by. Please hit that subscribe button. I appreciate you. I appreciate all those that have subscribed, and please feel free to leave a comment, and I'd love to hear from you. And anyway, thank you. I will talk to you soon. Bye.